Hi everybody, thank you so much for the most positive feedback on the first video of what I feed Lake in a day. So I hope you enjoy this next one. She's 16 months now. There's a lot of food that she eats, so there's lots to go through, but I wanted to do this intro video inside the brand new Tanya's retail space. So everything that you can see behind me, there we go. So that's the space. Obviously there's still quite a bit to do, but we do open on the 19th of June, so we have a little time. For anyone that's been here before, you probably remember it as the My Hotel Chelsea's reception. But basically behind me is what used to be the conservatory. So where Tanya's space used to be, it's now called the living room, and you'll be able to grab all of your delicious foods and, you know, raw salads and juices, cold pressed juices, organic treats, and you'll be able to take them into that space and eat them there or take them away. So enjoy the video.
Breakfast for Lake usually begins with some seed milk. In this case, I'm actually using tiger nuts, which are not seeds or nuts. They're actually root vegetables. These little guys are really high in minerals and the bulk of everything that's required for strong teeth and bones. They have a really high energy content, they've got fat, proteins, they've got sugars and starch. So naturally they're quite sweet, and you don't need to add any kind of sweetness, no dates or anything to them. I use exactly the same formula as I do with nut milk, which is 1 cup of nuts to 3 cups of water, and blend it up and strain it. Then I transfer it to the fridge. I make just enough for exactly 2 days, and I warm it up the next morning. The reason why I do that is because if you can see this line at the bottom, it's actually all settled starch, so it's going to be really hard. I don't stir it back in, I just use the milk, no starch. I'm all about the varied diet, so 1 week I might add a healthy oil blend to Lake's milk, another week it's going to be probiotics. And this includes varying probiotics as well, so Optibac and Udo's Choice, they have my pick. And this time, I would not trade for anything with my baby. Lake's second breakfast is usually pretty bulky and filling and happens at around 10 or 11 a.m, so before her nap time. In this case, I'm using millet, which is actually a seed, not a grain, and to cook it really well to make it really creamy, we need to toast the millet first. That also helps to get rid of the bitterness. Then I use 1 part of millet to 3 parts of water, stir it through, let it boil, turn the temperature on low, cover it, and then approximately every 10 minutes, so just keep opening the lid and stirring it to make it really creamy and fluffy. And it should take about half an hour to cook usually. So once it's all finished, I will add some Himalayan sea salt, then I will add some extra virgin coconut oil. It can withstand really high temperatures, so it's really perfect for cooking. And after that, I will cover it with a lid and let it sit there for about 10 minutes before mixing it with all her fruit. It's the half raw, half cooked breakfast with a few basil leaves in there if Lake will have them today. Sometimes she does pick those out or spit them out, so we'll see. But something else I didn't mention about millet seed is it's gluten-free, it's got loads of B vitamins, it's got calcium, iron, potassium, zinc, it's got magnesium as well, so it's really amazing, not just for children but for anybody at all. So please do have this as an entire family. In fact, the amount that I've made there, it's only good for 1 day anyway, because it doesn't quite taste the same the next day, and Lake certainly would never accept it the next day. Lunch usually happens at around 2 p.m, so towards the end of her nap, the one single nap that she has during the day these days, I start making her lunch. It's very easy. It's a 3-ingredient puree still, which is half raw, half cooked, because I would never usually cook fruit. Fruit contains lots of carbohydrates, and with really high heat during cooking, those carbs, they turn into sugars, so I want to be able to avoid that. I'm using raw mango, cooked carrots, and some of that fresh millet that we've made today to make the most of it. Now while I blend, can we just take a moment to appreciate this magnificent solid mango tree board that my dad brought from the Amazon? Thanks. And here we are, those wee sprout pouches you saw me fill in the very first video, still getting loads of views out of them. Sweet. Dinner shopping at our local farmers markets. To set the record straight, it won't be fair to call Lake's upbringing vegan, because I do feed her eggs 3 times per week. She's dairy-free and meat-free, so it's eggs that I rely on for her natural source of vitamin B12. I'm all about the whole foods and not isolating anything because nature knows best, but there is evidence to why egg white specifically isn't recommended for small children, but grown-ups too. So to give you an example, it's the yolk that contains all of the nutrition. Egg yolks, they contain biotin. It's a B vitamin for healthy hair, nails, skin, digestion, and brain function. And egg whites, they cause biotin depletion. So biotin loss can lead to joint pain, hair loss, and lack of muscle as well. So if isolating, it's only for the egg yolk and not egg white for us. Now, cooking tomatoes, I'm a really big fan. As you know, I'm also a really big fan to adding as much raw food into your diet as possible. But it's when you're cooking tomatoes, that's when it increases lycopene. And that's a powerful antioxidant to protect and repair your cells. Again, another super easy meal. It really doesn't have to be difficult to make it tasty for them. After I finish with a frying pan, I chop up a few fresh avocados and mix them into her plate and just let her sit there with a fork and go for it. It usually takes a little while to go through it and a lot of play, but she does end up eating the whole plate, and the main thing is she doesn't seem to ask for anything afterwards. Snacks. So many options, like these delicious activated seeds right here. I keep a bowl of fruit and a box of healthy snacks on a really high shelf, so all she needs to do is point to ask for a snack. We don't have any restrictions. I just know that if she gets demanding, then she's usually ready for a big meal, and after which she normally stops asking for snacks.
Joshi, what are you feeding Lake? Is it blueberries?
Blueberries.
Something that's an absolute must for us to have on hand is some kind of an energy bar, which I like to make. And she knows that word bar, and she definitely knows how to keep asking for it. So what I do, I get a food processor with an S blade. I get 1 cup of coconut, desiccated coconut, 1 cup of sunflower seeds, half a cup of hemp seeds, 2 cups of dates, and 1/4 cup of the strawberry powder. And just pop everything in, pop the lid on, and blend away. It does take quite a while actually, just to really break through and make it really sticky. So be patient and just keep pulsing or stopping and starting, but keep an eye on what's going on. Usually after you process for about 2 or 3 minutes, the mixture should start forming into a big sticky ball, and you could test it with your hands. I wasn't quite satisfied in this case because it was really difficult to roll into a ball, so I added 1 more cup of dates and left it to process a little bit more. Then when I opened it up, it was a lot stickier and very easy to roll into a ball. But I'm not rolling it into a ball, I'm actually making a really giant big slab out of it so that I could chop it all up into little squares and into little bars. Really nice and easy for Lake to just hold and walk around and chew. Those tiny seeds are packed with nutrition. They're kind to your tummy and your digestion. I haven't met a single child or an adult that doesn't like the taste, but the best thing, from this one large slab, you get a whole week's worth of bars with enough to share around. Give some to Joshi. Give some to Joshi.
Mama.
Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions, please do ask them in the comments. I'll try and answer as many as possible in the next video. Also, a lot of you have asked about some weaning recipes for your little ones because your little ones are a lot younger than Lake's. So if you do go to my blog, just put into search weaning, and I actually have a lot of recipes over there. So enjoy. Thank you. Thank you.
Cheers.